Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Adrian with another release for Avo 2.28. We have quite a few features, a few things we want to talk about today, so let's get into it. So bottom up, first of all, thank you to all of the contributors. So Vitali, thank you so much. Clayton and Tarek, this is like your first time contribution, so thank you so much for that. And Yosef, thank you. Paul, yeah, thank you. If you know, you know. So yeah, let's get into it. So maintenance. So create unlocked tables in test environment. So it's exactly what it says. It's for the test environment, so we can run tests a little bit faster. This is a chore. Ruby 3.2 support. This adds like 3.2 support to the gem files, and we'll start running tests against that. Bump Turbo Hotwire JS to 7.3, exactly what it says. Add Green Hats as sponsor. Yeah, so thank you so much. We want to thank our sponsors again. So Green Hats is one of our latest sponsors. They deal with security IT, so go check them out. They're a really like nice gang. And thank you Equip Technique for like your continued help throughout these like years. So thank you so much for that. So bug fixes, the app spec, what is this? So I think this just fixes this fixes like one test. This is nothing important. Authentication before authorization. So yeah, thank you, Yosef. I think we had an issue with we were trying to authorize a user before we authenticated them, so definitely not the right way to go. And that is fixed. Now to the features. So card visibility. Yes, this is something really cool. This is from Paul, flagged this out, and they said they needed a way to to authorize different cards. So basically you have one dashboard, and on this dashboard you have multiple cards, but you only want to show or hide cards to certain like users or depending on certain conditions. So we added this visible block, which you can add to the card on the dashboard, or you can add to the card itself. So you can say self.visible, and this will be a block. So you can say like current user is admin or something. Yeah, so you do your thing there, or you can do it this way if that makes sense. If you want to add like multiple metrics and you want to add some options to that, and then you just want to show some of them or hide some of them. So yep, this is what this PR does. You have documentation and a video of me like saying more about it. Arabic translation. Thank you so much, Tarek. I spoke with them, and we probably are going to add right to left support. So if a PR is incoming, we'd love to merge that. Add use resource option to belongs to field. So this one, I think it came from Ricky. Yes. So what happens is you would like to have a belongs to, where is it? A field, a user as belongs to. But if you have like different resources from one model, so you have like the user model, but you have like a user resource or like a compact user resource, then the link from the show view or like the index view, that would go to the first resource that Avo would find. So it might not be the compact user, it might not be user. So now you can specify which resource to use in that situation. So next is fetch labels option for tags field. Yep. So in the last release, we added this thing called fetch values from. So you are now able to query your server, query the server for the values that you want to display in a tags field. So if you have like maybe 2,000 or 5,000 like entries for like user IDs or something, or maybe you have like shop IDs in a column, and then you want to display all the shops, but there are like thousands of shops. The drop down, the select field might not be the best option because it would just load up the DOM and it might make the page be a little bit laggy or even freeze it. So you can use the tags field and use the fetch values from. You can check out my last release. I have a video there. But the issue was like when you're returning from the server, you're returning something like this. So a value and a label. So it's an object. So the tags field knows how to display that label, right? So a user ID and a name. But when you save it to the database, you might save like an array of IDs. So you have like user IDs, let's say, which actually are something like 1, 5, and 999, whatever. And the tags field does not know how to what the name of the user ID of 1 is, what the name of user ID of 5 and 999, and so on. So we added this new thing called fetch labels, where you get a block, and then you have to return an array of strings from that block, or whatever you want, if integers works for you, but you probably want to return strings. So what happens is like so you have the fetch values from, and you store it like 15999, and then record and user IDs, right? So these ones are going to be available in this block. So you can say user where ID in, so you pass it these the IDs that you have stored on your database, and then you just block the first name or do whatever you want and just return an array of strings. Yep, so this comes very much in handy for that scenario. Next, field level file authorization. So again, this came from Paul. What was happening was, let's go to post policy. So before we had, if you had like, let me see, let's go to a post. Okay, perfect. And let's get to a post. If you have a file or files field and you want to add some authorization to it, so you want to hide like the download or delete or upload buttons and the capabilities to that field, before we had these three methods. So upload attachments, download attachments, delete attachments. The issue with this was that, let me just hit edit, or maybe let me just go to another post that doesn't have anything. And the issue with that was, let's say upload is false. I'm going to refresh and you'll see nothing, probably a dash. So now this user is not allowed to do that. But what if you want to allow them, a certain type of user, to upload cover photos, but not audios? And now we have this, which you can do, upload, and you pass it the ID of that field. So if I go to a post resource and say as file, I have these two, so cover photo. So I say upload cover photo and say true and refresh. Oh, sorry, probably I'm not on the main. Let me see. Yep, perfect. So again, let me refresh. So now you see I have access to upload the cover photo and I don't have access to upload the audio. So I can say something like upload, and now I'm going to check the ID. So ID is audio. So upload audio and say like user, because we get the user here. This is Pundit, is admin. Okay, and if the user is admin, then you'll be able to do it. If it's not an admin, then you might not be able to do it, or use your own conditions. Yep, so this is very handy to do more granular work. Yep, so that's with the field level authorization. And I think we covered everything for Avo 2 right now. So we're still working on Avo 3. We're having some issues with like the mono repo and developer experience setup. We, to give you like the gist of the idea, we broken up Avo into multiple gems. Before we had everything into one repo, like the dashboards, the filters, the actions, everything, the resources and everything in there. Now with all the new features that we added to Avo 2 and the new features for Avo 3, the repo just got a little bit too, what do you call it, like too big, too large. And we broke it up into multiple repos. And for Avo 3, we'll probably start like with Avo being like the community version that will be on GitHub, and the others will probably be hidden away behind a paywall or something, the more commercial features. So we're working on that, and we're trying to make the developer experience as seamless as possible, because, you know, working in like 5 or 8 or 10 repos is not like the prettiest thing ever. So we're working on that. What else? In other news, Short Ruby grew a little bit bigger, so the 33rd edition is very, very nice. And they have this new website they took over, so Ruby and Rails, Ruby and Rails info, which they took over, and it's a very helpful resource for books, courses, communities, newsletters, podcast, whatever. So go check it out, rubyandRails.info. So Ruby and Rails, not Ruby on Rails, rubyandRails.info, and you'll find a lot of cool resources. And I spoke a little bit with Lucian, and they have like amazing plans with it. So you gotta check it out and stick close. Again, Friendly.rb, I mentioned this, we're throwing together a tiny European Ruby conference. It's going to be September 22nd, 28th in Bucharest. It's going to be 100-ish people, so we want to keep it small. We have a focus on community. We want you to be able to meet each other and, you know, create new bonds and meet new people. So definitely check it out. We still have a few early bird tickets. I think only 9 or something. Yep, only 9. So we have a few supporter tickets. We have cool swag for that. And then the general admission will start with the $200 price point. Cool. So check that out. And one more. We have one more. TurboRails. So Yarrow has started a new series. I think it's actually not a new series. It's just like a new thing he does. Oh, where is it? So reverse engineering, multi-tenancy, customer pages. I think that new video, maybe it's not up because it was a live video. Oh yeah, cool. So Yarrow is building this SaaS in public, so you can check it out. They started from like buying the domain and then setting up the app, and he goes through like everything, like the decision making and how he like builds like the POC and everything. So go check it out. It's a 2-hour video, but it's very cool. If it's very good, it's very cool. And also like the custom error pages, this is a very good example of how you could do it with Rails as well. So go check it out. Yeah. So, yep, this is, I think this is about it. I know I promised I'll show you Avo 3, but I just feel like I showed you like a lot of like the main features, like the dynamic filters, but a dynamic filter. Actually, you know what? Let me just set this up a little really quickly. Cool. So yeah, let's check it out. I'm just gonna run through like the quick things. We've refreshed a little bit the design on dashboards. Disregard this. This is not really important. This will go away. What next? We have these dynamic fields feature where you just add an option to a field. It's filterable, and you'll get all of this beauty. It uses ransack, but the safe way of using ransack, so not the bad way, where somebody could steal some like the passwords or whatever, can scan your website. It works the same like with multiple types of fields. So you have like text, and you have like the condition, like contains, does not contain, is, just not, starts with, whatever, and you say like whatever, you give it a value, and then it will filter by that. And you can add another one, and maybe let's say, I don't know, birthday. So birthday, this is a date time, so definitely a good date picker. So is on or before, and hit the apply, and then you have like these nice features here. So this is so these are the filters, the dynamic filters. These are the scopes. So you can add like, you know, model defined scopes to this tiny menu. So you can say, okay, show me only the admins or the non-admins, or the ones that are active, and you can set whatever query you want. These are odd and even. These are like the IDs. Show me the odd ones and show me the even ones. So this is just like for show. We have this new status indicator where in the new page where you can see the status of Avo. If you have any errors, we'll probably move this inside that. We have made a lot of like internal changes to make it easier for us to work with it and for you to extend it. So we're very happy about that, and I'm probably gonna record some of those changes when we launch. So yeah, Avo 3. We'll probably do a few more things, but we want to finish up with the mono repo setup and everything else. So we have like a good sturdy base to work on. We're probably going to open up like beta. I know I said we wanted to launch in March, but I think we are a little bit late. So we want to start a beta, an open beta in probably in March or April. So you'll be able to purchase like the Pro package and start working on that. There are going to be a few updates to the pricing. What we're thinking is we're going to increase the pricing for the Pro package by $100. So it's going to be $350 for the Pro. And we're going to have another tier with the dynamic filters, the dynamic fields, like all of those amazing goodies that really help you like move extremely fast. So that'll be priced probably $450 or something like that. So we are increasing the price for Pro because we added so many things in the past year and we haven't increased the price, and this just makes sense. This is like a good time to do that. So definitely you'll be able, so probably in end of March or April, start of April, you'll be able to get on the Avo 3 train and try it out in probably a separate branch, and you can progressively upgrade to it. Otherwise, there aren't like a lot of there aren't a lot of like breaking changes, but let me check it out. So the things that we are going to change is, like, before here we had something like user resource. This was the way to call it. But now we are just using the default way of namespacing things in Rails. So you have like the Avo directory. So the app, you have Avo, you then have resources, and then you have the resource name. So user, so Avo resources user. So this is something that is going to change in Avo 3. Another thing that is going to change, we're going to have less of these kinds of methods where you can pass it a block and you have to pass it some arguments, and we just want to make them argument less. So no more arguments. You're just going to have these like cleaner blocks, and then we can just provide these variables inside, so you'll have access to those. But this just makes it a little bit more future proof, because if like in the future we're going to add something else, like maybe say user or whatever, this is going to break for you because you're going to have to make changes in your resource, so you'll have access to user. But if we do it the other way, like this, then it's all going to be fine. We're just going to provide you the user variable inside this block. So this is going to be rather cool. What else? We're gonna probably, so I experimented with this. We're going to let me move to another resource, a smaller resource, maybe comment. Yep, let's try this one. So I'm just gonna delete this one. And body, let's just leave it text area and whatever. So we have this thing where you declare fields like this, so on the main class, but this has some issues, and we're probably going to go with something like the fields, and then you're going to declare them inside like so, right? And then maybe like tool, and you'll say like, I don't know, what is this? Comment, tool, whatever. We'll figure that out as we go. And this might not look like as friendly from the beginning, but this actually helps us out, because when you're doing things like this outside of any method, just on the class, when these are evaluated at build time. So whenever you boot up the app, you don't have access to current user, you don't have access to params, you don't have access to nothing, to the request, to the view context, nothing. You have access to nothing because the app just boots up. But if we are going to do that dev fields way of doing things, you'll have access to all of these because we'll be able to inject them, and we'll be able to have access to and run fields whenever we want, so at runtime. And that means you'll be able to say do things like if current user is admin, show me buddy, or else show me nothing, or show me tiny name, or whatever. You'll be able to do this, and you don't have to do like visible and everything like that. And then you'll be able to do something like def like admin fields, right? And you can say field 1, 2, 3, you get the point. And then something like, where is it? User field. Let's call user fields, and this will be 5, 6, 7. And then you can say something like, hey, if it's admin, you say admin fields, and then otherwise say user fields, right? So this opens up the door to a lot more customization, and it's easier for you to do that. So we are quite happy about this. If you have any suggestions, if you have any concerns, if you built something like this before and you kind of foresee like, hey man, you're going to run into issues when you do this and that and whatever, please tell us. So write to us. I'm on Twitter, Discord, GitHub, on YouTube, wherever you see this video. So this is this would definitely like some feedback from you guys. So yeah, this is something that we'll do. What else? I'm trying to think what the breaking changes will be for this upgrade. We'll try to keep it as minimalistic as possible. Again, the tools will have, and the tools and the actions will have their full name, so you don't have to add like the action or tool to that class, so you know what kind of class it is. You'll just figure it out from the namespace. And oh yeah, index, edit, and show controls. This is something that I didn't talk about. So other fishies. So now you'll be able to customize everything up here. So all the buttons on index, on show, and on edit. So you see like the pink thing, you can do whatever you want, and you'll be able to customize the row controls as well. So before we had like edit, show, and delete. Now you can add like an actions drop down, which we have to make prettier. This is ugly, but we'll make it prettier. You can add like custom actions as a button or as an icon. So this just pops up with the tilapia record. So it knows that this is the record with ID of 8. And you can add links and whatever. So definitely this is going to improve like what kind of experience you can build up. Cool. Okay, so I can't remember any more features, but if I do, I'll tweet about them. And we're just so you know, we're working hard on Avo 3. We just want to push it out there as a beta. Some things will probably be a little bit broken, but you know, there are people that want to live on the edge, so this is going to be. So we're working on that. We're still adding features to Avo 2, as you may have seen. We want to stop doing that, so please stop sending us like, you know, feature requests, because we just want to work on Avo 3 and make that even better. Yeah, so we're working on Avo 3, working on Avo 2. Friendly.rb, go check it out. It's going to be an amazing conference. We have a few surprises ready for you guys, and that's about it. I just want to say thank you for being with me today and for using Avo. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.